What's going on, everybody? And welcome to J Sports Seattle. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm just going to hop right into it. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's talk about this. 6-3. 6-3. We won, but for some reason it felt like we lost. 6 points on the board against the Chicago Bears, against a team that lost 9, now 10 straight games. And you can only put 6 points on the board on the offense. Mike McDonald, he did his part. This game is not on Mike at all. Mike deserves no blame at all for this game. It's all on Ryan Grubb in the offense. 6 points allowed is unacceptable. I understand we won the game. I get it. I will get to the positives of this game in a minute, but I have to go over the cons first because this was an unacceptable game from the offense. And this shows right here that Ryan Grubb is not ready to be an offensive coordinator in the NFL just yet, and that we need to move off him after one season. I understand that it's his first ever season in the NFL straight from college, but that's just that. That's not – you can't do that. So – it's just wow, 6 points. I'm just baffled. Like I'm straight up baffled. I was at a restaurant watching the game, and I was just in awe and shock of how horrible this game was for both sides. I mean, this game was a sleep-inducing game right here. This is like that Rams-Niners game where it was just a bunch of punts and field goals. Except this was even less of that because there's only 3 field goals versus it was like 7. It's just, wow. That's how the last Thursday night game of the year goes and ends. That's just crazy. So, rushing-wise, we had 100 and something yards on the ground. Here, let me see. So, yeah, we had 122 rushing yards on the ground, which is, better than we've had the past couple weeks. It seems like when we, and I hate to say this, but it seems like when K9 doesn't play, our rushing attack seems better. And I don't really know how to feel about that, to be honest. Like, excuse me. Like, I think there's a chance we move off him after this year and deal him somewhere and like put him in a trade package or something, because it just seems like Kenny McIntosh and Charbonnet can make do with this crappy O-line more than K9 does, and that's not always K9's fault. K9, he does like I said, he uses his athleticism and his shiftiness to try to make plays out of nothing. But McIntosh and Charbonnet, these guys are just downhill runners, and they're going to get theirs no matter how bad good the O-line is. So I understand K9 or Charbonnet had a little bit of he kind of fell off in the second half, but McIntosh, he had a solid game. 25 long, 7 carries, 46 yards, 6.6 yards per carry on average. It's pretty good. 4.9 per carry on average on the ground is pretty good. Not to mention he had a couple catches. But yeah, that's the bright side of the offense. It's like our rushing attack had over 100 yards on the ground. I mean, you just you can't do that. You just can't. And I don't know, if Ryan Grubb goes up against the Rams and drops a 40 bomb, whatever. Okay, fine. But this game right here doesn't really give me confidence going into next week against the Rams. And it makes me question if we do belong in the playoffs or not. Do we really belong in the playoffs? You can only put 6 points against a team that's going to be in contention for a top 5 pick. And if everything goes right their way, they could potentially go for a top 3 pick, potentially number 1 overall. I doubt that since the Giants are in the lead. Excuse me. Sorry if I say excuse me a lot. I've had a couple drinks, so a little gassy. So that could impair my judgment a little bit, but I don't know. Because I was watching that game, and I was just like, I had a couple Angry Orchards, and now I just finished a Church Music IPA. It's because I don't know what to think about this game. it's just unacceptable from the offense. I was expecting a little bit more. I was at least expecting us to put, honestly, overall from the game, I was expecting like a 24-20 sort of game or 20-17 sort of game. I wasn't expecting a 6-3 game, especially from us. I was expecting us to at least get one touchdown. I know the Bears' defense isn't that bad, but 6 points is just unacceptable. I understand O-line is bad and all that, and the defense of the Bears isn't that bad also. But still, 3 sacks allowed. There were some penalties. Just, are you serious, man? Geno just looked lost out there. He had that fumble that required one of his offensive linemen to recover. Geno just didn't look like he didn't look like his best self today. He probably could say that as well, but it's been like 4 or 5 straight weeks of him just not looking like he was earlier this season. And like I said, there's a chance he's not going to be on this team next year. And assuming that if we draft a quarterback in next year's draft, like in the 2nd or 3rd round, there is a good chance that Geno could be on the team next year, but it'll be his last year next year in Seattle, where we'll have the rookie sit under him for a year, and then we move off Geno and move on to the rookie. But this is just an unacceptable performance from the offense. I have no confidence going in that game against the Rams because we couldn't even muster a touchdown. We couldn't even muster double-digit points against a Bears team that is in contention for a top 5 pick when it's all said and done. Just unacceptable. So, but I'll move on to the positives. I'm going to stop getting to the negatives. The defense, man. The defense played their hearts out. They played their tails off tonight. And I got to congratulate Mike Macdonald, and I got to applaud Mike Macdonald for keeping this defense, for just bailing out the offense. And I got to talk about Ryan Grubb, man. Like, I don't know if I said this earlier in the video. I don't think I have. But even if I did, I will say it again. Come on, man. The moment I realized that Ryan Grubb is just he no longer needs to be on this team as OC is when I saw him run that stupid screenplay on 1st and 5 against the Vikings on Saturday in Viking territory, or on Sunday in Viking territory, and it went for a 6-yard loss, and then eventually led us to a punt when we could have potentially run the ball or do like a down the field pass and settle for a field goal. That's just unacceptable from Ryan Grubb, and I just don't think I don't think he needs to be on this team next year as OC. He comes straight out of college. I understand he has his team like average in the NFL in scoring in his first ever season, but when you're going up against a team that is in contention for a bottom 5 or for a top 5 pick, and you can only put up 6 points, that's just unacceptable. I'm sorry. Like, you can call me a casual, or you can say that I'm just it's only Grubb is just in his rookie season. I don't care. That is unacceptable from an offensive coordinator standpoint. 6 points against a team that is a top 5 contention or for a draft pick. Not okay. So I really hope that we somehow we move. I don't think we will, but I do hope Ryan Grubb is not the offensive coordinator next year. We go get a veteran or someone that can complement Mike's defense, because we cannot be having this next year. Stalled out drives, constant third and longs. It's just it's not fun to watch this offense sometimes. And then every time I see Geno drop back and pass, I'm just afraid he's just going to throw a pick. Like, he almost threw a pick in the red zone again this game. He almost did. And luckily the Bears dropped it, but he yesterday or on Sunday he threw 2 picks, and he threw another two throws that were pick worthy. Especially that one in the I think it was in the 3rd quarter where he threw right to the defender, but the defender dropped it. Like, Geno just he's not going to take us anywhere. This offense isn't going to take us anywhere. And there's going to be a lot of revamping going on in this offseason, like I said. Obviously, we still have one more game to play, and there's still football to play, but I'm already looking to the offseason because I want to see this team improve, especially on the offense. But obviously on both sides, I want to see it improve even more. I want us to become a top 10 scoring unit on the defense, like defensive scoring unit, like points allowed. But I also want to see us as a top 10 offense, and at best we're mediocre. And that's just unacceptable. I understand, like I said, it's Ryan Grubb's first ever year as an offensive coordinator at the pro level. But He's been figured out. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't adapt. I don't. It's time. It's time. He just needs to go. I think he needs to be like a position coach, like a wide receivers coach, since that seems to be a specialty for an NFL team. Learn under a more experienced offensive coordinator, and then learn under a more experienced offensive system, and then he can maybe give it another shot. But going straight from OC straight from college to NFL, that's a huge jump that some people are just not ready for, and clearly Grubb is not ready to do it. Like I said, I understand Grubb has us as an average scoring unit this year, but keep in mind that we've had a pretty light schedule this year, and so you kind of expect us to be at least have an average scoring unit, and we've had some gimmies. So of course you want him. He's going to have some games where he'll score 24, 25 points, like against the Vikings he did. That's because they're it's just how it is. Like Grubb's just not ready, and that's like I said, it's not all on him, but it is him because he's not. He hasn't adapted. It seems like he's getting very, very. He seems like he's just figured out, and he doesn't know how to scheme a game anymore. And you can call me a Grubb hater and say that I'm giving up too soon, but when you only score 6 points against a team that is in contention for a top 5 pick, that's just no bueno. So, you know what? I hope Grubb stays next year and shuts me up. I really hope he does and proves me wrong. I really do. Obviously, I do. But I don't have any confidence in seeing that he can. So, nobody had even 50 yards receiving today. It's just crazy. That is just crazy to think about. Like I said, the defense, they played their tails off today. Played absolutely, they bailed the offense out more times than you could count. Yes, they give up a few third downs every now and then, but it doesn't matter. The reason being, only 3 points allowed versus our 6. So the defense gets the win today. The defense was the MVP of this game today. And the offense did nothing to win this game. This was all the defense. The offense did nothing to contribute to this win. I'm sorry. They did nothing. Yes, we won because we scored 6 points on offense, but it wasn't even the offense. Technically speaking, you could say it was special teams because, Jason Myers is the kicker, and that's on special teams. But still, no touchdowns. You got into the red zone once, and you couldn't get it done. And then you didn't go back since. You didn't get back into the red zone until that first time on that first drive. It was that first drive who got into the red zone, and then we couldn't get it since. Just unacceptable. So, I don't understand why. I should be happy we won this game. I really should. But it feels like we lost this game even though we won. It's like that Jets game all over again. We won the game even though we should have lost. Same with this game. We won this game when we probably should have lost. But I know the Bears are tanking, so they probably were, they lost this game on purpose most likely. But still, that's just unacceptable from an offensive standpoint. And Gino should not be the quarterback next year, and honestly, Grubb should not be the offensive coordinator next year. But Schneider, he's going to keep both most likely. Assuming that, we go draft the quarterback and sit him for a year, then Gino will be back. So, you look at it was a 4-way tie for first place in tackles. Devin Witherspoon, 6 tackles, 6 solo. I had my Witherspoon jersey on when I was in that restaurant. I was in a restaurant watching the game. Bro balled out. He balled out. Look at this. 6 total tackles, 6 solo. All of his tackles were solos. He had a sack, and he had 3 TFLs. Put this man in the Pro Bowl again. Put him in the Pro Bowl. He deserves it, but the way he's played. Leonard Williams had a monster game. He had 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, 4 total QB hits. Bro balled out. Bryant had another good game. He had a pass deflection, a QB hit. Had 6 total tackles. Tyrese Knight again, 6 total tackles. Julian Love was all over the place again. Reed, Jenkins, Hall all had a sack. It's just great team defense right there. And like I said, this defense carried the hell out of this offense, like you wouldn't even imagine. Gino fumbled the ball twice. And that one time where he got stripped and almost, luckily the offensive lineman was there to, I think it was Olu that got on it. Luckily Olu was there to get on it. Gino just looks lost out there now. I understand, like, and the thing is like, there were times where Geno had good time in the pocket, and he just didn't know what to do with the ball. And like I said, it's not all his fault because Grubb just doesn't know how to scheme anymore. But still, Geno just doesn't know how to, and he did a couple times where he audibled, and it just didn't work out. Like, I remember it was a 3rd and 3, and I think it was I don't know if it was in the 4th or 3rd quarter, but he was a 3rd and 3. He changed the play and gave a run play to Charbonnet, and Charbonnet gets stopped for a loss. Like, what are you doing, Geno? Like, you got to throw the ball on 3rd and 3. Since you can't run the ball, in the second half, we couldn't run the ball. So, I don't know. Like I said, I should be celebrating this win, but I feel like I'm in the same boat. Like, I feel like you guys are feeling the same way I'm feeling right now. Like, this game was just a drunk game. It was an inebriated game, like, on the offensive standpoint. Just a horrendous game from the offensive standpoint. So, it's just, oh, man, that's just infuriating. Luckily, we have a mini bye. So, the Rams play the Cardinals on Saturday. So, hopefully the Cardinals can get that done. We got to sit and wait. Looking at the playoff picture. Excuse me. Looking at the playoff picture. So, if the Rams lose, it's a it's winner takes all in Week 18. And even if the Rams do win, as long as we beat the Rams on next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, we just need a few other teams to let me see. We need a few other teams to lose or win, depending on how it goes. Let's see here. If Rams lose to Arizona, Week 18 will be for NFC West, regardless of Seahawks Bears result. If Rams beat Arizona, Seahawks' only chances to win both their games and get a strength of victory miracle. So, let's see. 1 point. Yeah, so we need 14 points out of 17 in order to get that strength of schedule. So if we beat the Rams, that helps us. And if the Rams lose both games straight, depending on how it goes, it'll just be a toss-up at that point. I mean, JSN says it best. Just win. And we won today. And now we have to, hope that the Rams lose on Saturday, so that way it's winner takes all. Especially since we'll have a mini bye again, so that we'll have some extra rest going to SoFi on the final game of the season. But it's just, I just hate that. I just don't like that. This is the 3rd year in a row where we have to rely on outside help to make the playoffs. And honestly, I think it just comes down to this roster. I just think this roster needs to be revamped. It's leftover roster from the regime, leftover from Pete, and I just think we need to move off a lot of some of these players like Draymond Jones. I think Uchenna Nwosu needs to go, unfortunately. As much as I like him, I just don't think he fits in Mike McDonald's scheme, and then he's getting paid some bag. I believe Rayshon Jenkins might have to go. We might have to either draft someone or get someone else. Chino's got to go, obviously, but I don't know if that's going to happen. K9, I feel like we got to move off K9. I think we need to move off DK because he's a hothead. He's just too much of a hothead. He's done a better job of keeping his cool this year under Mike, but this game he's still DK. And I just think we need to move off him and go get a new wide receivers to complement JSN, and then I think Lockett either needs to retire or we need to release him. There's a lot of players left over from the regime from Pete and Schneider that just we need to move off that and get more of the players that Mike wants. I'm sure Mike has some of the players that he wants right now, like Love, on defense at least, like Love, like Witherspoon. Willen's just hit or miss. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy. I feel like once we give Murphy some more help, I feel like he does have some of the players he needs, but there's just a lot of players that I know Mike just does not want to have in this team next year. So we'll have to wait and see for that. You comment below on what you think about the season, and if you think we should, deserve to go to the playoffs, especially if we get a home game or 3-6 at home. Is it worth it? Should we just get that top 20 pick again? Right now, looking at Tankathon, right now we're just outside of the wild card, like the playoff picture when it comes to the draft order. We're at the 18th pick. So, if Tampa wins and the Arizona wins and stuff like that, and we lose, we could potentially be at the same pick we was last year, the 16th, or maybe higher. I doubt higher than 16th. Right now we're at the 18th. But basically, yeah, if you want to make the playoffs, you just gotta root for Arizona. And I never thought I'd say that, but yes, Arizona, go Cards. So, but yeah, we have to win this game. We have to win on Sunday against the Rams. I mean, that's the only way, and the Cardinals have to lose. That is the only way that we will be able to win this division. That's the only way we'll be able to make the playoffs, is to win the division. So, yeah. But I think that's all I have for this video. Comment below on what you think of this game and how you feel about this team going forward, going into next season, what you think needs to be done. I'll be making a preview for that Rams game sometime next week. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. And if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day, or night, I should say. And go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.